Good day, lords and ladies, and welcome back to Age of Fear 3 with me, Cornish-Knight. As we get back into the campaign, we are clearing out some dwarf miners in a side mission, so this should be good. Harvest my water. Here we go, folks. Now, we've got everybody set up. Yep. Make sure everybody has everything that we need. Yep, we are all ready to go. Excellent. Not too bad, these guys, we can take them. I might lose one of the fungoids, but that's probably about it. That's the problem when you have hit point free units running around, is that when you're fighting against dwarves, they will quite quickly get killed. The AI is rather good at targeting weaker units. And flamethrowers, ranged units, and dwarf warriors make a rather nasty combination.
Darkness is my way.
So we're going to push our units up. Keep our ranged units right behind our main line.
Nice try.
I'm going to probably send the mandrakes in on the flanks to try and get as many of them poisoned. It's not as effective against dwarves as other units would be, because dwarves tend to have access to a lot of healing, innate healing, because they can drink their beer, which means they will heal and get rid of their poison effects. And some of them have healing potions as well, like that boss. Right, we've got everybody ready. Start by sending the mandrakes up first. I also don't want to get too close, partly because there's gunpowder about and the AI will shoot it. I mean, they don't prioritize shooting it like humans do, but they still will shoot it if we get too close to it. Right. Just out of range. That one isn't. Trying to get as many of them poisoned as possible so they all drink their alcohol and get the negative effects that come with it, because it really reduces their attack. Their attack and defense goes down when they drink their alcohol. Right, so they're going to open up on him. Yeah, that was what I was worried about. Nasty injury. But it sets us up rather nicely for the rest of our unit, for the other mandrake route to detonate. Couple of units that have magical items, I should probably try and have items. I should probably try and steal some of them. It's one of the things I was never good at in this game, is stealing stuff. I just don't bother doing it. Right, the wolves are strong, declares Balver. Been surprised, but not stronger than Balver. Oh yes, so very strong. Keep blowing your own trumpet, Spidey, says the witch. Don't get cocky, Lexa. Right, so we're going to move this one in here. Detonate it amongst all of these guys. I'm not even really looking to do them damage. It's more for them just to pop their healing stuff, because once they pop it, it will massively affect them. So that's my main goal. My main goal is to buy us time. Right. Move the Ents up. The problem is they've got a lot of flamethrower units, which will mean lots of extra damage to us, which sucks. So, post of invulnerability, I'm going to pop on the ogre, charge him up here so we can smack the flamethrower unit in the face. Which is delicious, because once he's done that, we can charge him with other units.
On your mind. Flesh, I like it.
Break one of their bones. I'm going to probably fire off a fireball, just so that I can trigger the AI into using its healing stuff. Excellent, we got one of the units that needed to do it. It's one of the ways that you know how to. If you play this game long enough, you pick up the tells of how to fight some of the units in these games. The AI is predominantly conditioned so that when the units take even a point of damage, they tend to use their healing, either healing abilities or healing supplies, which means that large area of effect attacks that do little damage are really useful. because it allows you to force out the healing from units. Yeah, black widow venom, not particularly interesting. Well, it is. I'm not gonna lie, it is useful, but it's not useful right now.
Where is my wand?
Another fireball goes out, broken their bones. That will trigger a lot of healing from the units, which is nice. And that's everybody. What's delicious about this is that the basic healing potions don't get rid of the poison effect. So they're gonna have to use all their healing to get rid of some of their effects. Ouch, out comes a flamer. Yeah, that's not good. That parasite, yeah, I was worried about that. The flamethrower units are really effective against like plants units. So I sort of expected to lose at least one of the fungoids. It's the risk you have when you use free health units in these kind of situations. Stone skin, not really. Come on, and cursed perhaps. He's got cursed, which is good. Moving him up. Punch him in the back of the head. Killed him. One thing I don't understand is that why didn't the parasite get health back? Hey Lexus, what's your real name? Oh, it's Lichina Xavier? Lichina Xavier. Lichina Xavier. There we go. I can't pronounce that. We'll call you Grandma, declares Balver. Over my dead body, roars the hag. Sorted. Grandma it is. Right. So, let's see how we can fix this situation. I don't know why I didn't get health back for killing that unit. Maybe it's a bug.
Splendid.
Just heal him up anyway. We'll hit that unit with poison damage so that it will have to spend a turn healing. It doesn't matter because we kill him off anyway. It's nice because every time we kill a unit, Lexa gets magical power back, which is really useful.
Oh, shall I?
This is the problem I have. I should probably steal the magical items that they have off them, but I just keep on forgetting. Partly because I'm more focused on actually just punching them in the face. Ouch. That ent took a pounding, and it's got a flesh wound, and it's almost dead, which sucks. That's not good at all. This is why I do not like flamethrower. If this is the problem, it's like, oh, I'm going to send a tree against a bloke with a flamethrower because that possibly can't go wrong. Yeah, let's heal him up.
Nice try.
His morale is going to be absolutely plummeting at this point. Let's put a fireball out. We didn't hit many units, but the ones we did hit, it should be useful against them. Heal him up, and we'll chuck him into a unit to attack. Missed the flamethrower unit. Missed. Man, that sucks. Pummel the Dwarf Lord. We'll move him up here and entangle him. We probably won't even hit, but the entanglement will drop his defense. Almost. We broke a bone in his body. He's got to heal himself up. Dagnabbit. Well, there goes the Ent, who's now got multiple injuries. This is the problem when you fight dwarves, they're just so tanky. We can't really fireball, and there's too many of our own units in the way. Can we curse someone? No. We'll just move her up a smidge so she has a bit more range. Get that guy and poison him. Missed with him, sort of expected that. Time to unleash the bees. The bees. I could use Firebolt, but it's no point. The bees have more chance of hitting at 90%.
Got it.
And we'll chip away his health bit by bit. No, we're going to go after that ranged unit. Pin him down so he can't run away. Punch him in the face. Oh, he had a couple of stuff. He had Mauler's strength, and the problem is, I really don't want to get hit by him. So this is the issue I have. It's that I know a couple of people said, "Oh, why don't you steal stuff from units?" It's like the problem with stealing in this game. It's not a problem. It's a mechanic that's well implemented. But the reason I don't do it is because you have to constantly risk losing your units to do it. Because if you're fighting something that has a magical item that's not like a mook, he can easily cream you by literally just like getting lucky a couple of times. And I'd rather not have a main hero crippled, because then I can't have a hero in a fight, which is a really bad situation to have. I mean, you get enough money in this game where you can buy most magical items. And I'm going to try and steal here. I should have probably, if I was in hindsight, I should have probably just enslaved him to get the magical item rather than trying to steal it. Which is just how it is. That's medium range, so I don't think I'm in range of that. Let's curse him. No, he resisted it. That's not great. Let's unleash the bees.
Say, that's yours?
Drop his morale a bit. Missed with that. But we got him on that one, so he's almost dead unless he heals himself. We'll kill off this guy. There's no point. I could have kept him around for longer if we wanted the magical item, but he's going to die from poison at this point anyway. And we broke that. The wolf is going to run off and die as well, which will cause a cascade effect. Poison damage kicking in. Ouch. He dies, which breaks morale. That gunner's going to run for it. I mean, it's how it is. You've got to understand that a lot of the plant factions units are very, very weak. I mean, 3 hit points for a frontline combat unit is not good. Like, not at this stage in the game. There are ways that we could counterbalance it. We could get regrowth for the fungoids. That would be a way to get it. You could up their health. You could use them more as flanking forces as well, the parasitic ones. Hold them with other units while the parasitic ones like run around and like chip away at their health. It's one of the benefits of having life drain. It's the fact is that they stay a lot longer in fights as long as you can hit. I mean, one of the counter things you could do is just up their attack massively and use them as a flanking force. Man, these guys are taking up pounding. Punch him in the face and tie him down. I'm going to try and capture the ranger, partly because I want the gold, and I wonder how, because I want to see which units will affect what morales, because some units seem to affect the forest morale while others don't. So I want to see which affects my faction units' morale.
Say, is that yours?
Heal him up. Also, if you heal units using magic, they get morale up, which is nice. Well, he pops his healing potion, which is annoying. Right. Chase him down again. Right, we've got to attack him. Get his health up again. I mean, the whole point of having units that deal... What you really want is you want to have the units that have life drain. You want them to have multiple attacks, so they can quickly replenish health. But to do that combination, you need A, for them to have high attack values, and for them to be... it's like with vampires. Like, vampires in the Undead campaign... are useful once you get them beyond, like at the start they're a bit squishy, but once you get them beyond the initial stage, then they become extremely useful. And it's going to be the same with the parasites. The thing with the parasites is that you need to A, get them a bit more health, like when you're leveling them up, and B, you need them to get multi-attack so that they can hit multiple units and replenish their health. So that way they can tie down multiple units. That combined with the regrowth ability would be useful. It's one of the ways that you use like life drain units like the vampires and stuff. Ooh, sealed of ages, that's a good sealed. It's one of the ways that you use stuff like life draining units like the vampires, like the parasitic fungoids. Use them as a flanking force to basically either tie down the enemy's flanking units, or you use them to basically self-heal, because they're a bit more reliable, so they can be sent out on their own to do things. But as it stands at the moment, these parasitic fungoids are relatively squidgy, so we're going to have to be careful with them. Right, that's that battle done and dusted.
Surprise, surprise. The resident dwarves were nothing but corpses by the time my scouts got there. Azil's men are depressed. Their low morale will get them killed. Azil's a smart leader. He won't force his men to fight if they're depressed. I hope. But can he motivate them again? I'm told that the sight of the mines is stomach-turning, even for seasoned fighters like themselves. I suppose at times like this, his men are thinking about their families. I suspect that when next I hear from Azil, he'll have fewer men. Perhaps I should start hiring some adventurers to get our numbers up.
Right, so back in the waking world. Right, where do we want to go? Probably to the mermaid, see what items we can get. Right, she snatches it. What did we get? Inferno Scepter. That's actually a relatively good scepter. I can give it to Lexa because she's evil with the crown on her head. Can he level up to elite yet? No. Okay. I think she can though, yeah. There we go. So she's fully leveled up. Well, not stat-wise, but like experience level-wise, yeah. She's nowhere near. This guy's got a whole host of injuries that needs healing. So he's going to be out of action for a while, which sucks. Right. We've got a whole bunch of units to have here we go, yeah, the Dwarf Ranger is causing the Ogre to have morale penalties, and to be honest, I like the Ogre more than I like the Dwarf, so the Dwarf has to go. We'll just chuck him down a mine shaft or something. Right, what do we want to get for the Ogre? Power attack, maybe? Crusher, perhaps? That might be useful. We'll probably go War Rune instead, though. The reason I didn't go Power Attack is that his attack value is low enough as it is, so we're unlikely to hit with it if we use it. Right, Elite thing, get him up. It's just a flesh wound, right, cracked skull. Actually, that is pretty bad. But he only has to live long enough to get into combat to detonate, so it's not a huge problem. Get that parasitic mushroom up to veteran. Natural wisdom for him, because hopefully we're just sort of getting a veteran for him. That would be good. That's annoying. We'll get regeneration for the mutated ivy. I'm not really using them anymore, but in case we have a massive like group brawl where all our units get dragged in, that would be useful. Nature's wisdom, perhaps. Just off again. But we can get the veteran for him, which isn't so bad. Yeah, he's just... No, that guy's... The thing is that The thing is, once you move units to the backup roster, they don't get as much experience, so they're not quite as good as your frontline units. But the problem is that, I don't know, I mean, some of these units I could take out, I suppose. Like, I could take some more of the saplings out, and hopefully you'd get enough experience to get them up to Nth level. Or the Nth evolution. Parasite, no, he's still not good enough. Right, let's look at the items. Inferno Scepter. Well, it's not bad. We'd lose Fireball. We get Firestorm. Bad Luck is not good because it would drop. She loses 2 defense, which sucks because that would drop her down to 4. Unholy Strength is useful if we want to go fully aggressive with someone. Firestorm is nice. The problem with that is that I'm going to use it anyway, but I'm going to be super careful with her because now her defense is really low. So I need to get her better clothing. Or just keep her right at the back. I suppose I could give her Formula of Invulnerability, but it would have to take away her Mana Potion, which is not a good combination. Right, we've got the Seal of Ages as well from. Do I want to give the Black Mace, the Black Ice Mace? We lose 1 point of defense, but we get a freezing attack, which is nice. But we'd also lose, if we switch out the Sealed of Ages, we'd lose Blood Rage, which is +1 attack for every HP below base HP. But that would give us 2 defense and elemental resistance. I'm probably going to go with Bone Shield, because Bone Shield is one of those increasing benefits types of gear. I don't want to get him Berserker Armor because it drops his defense even more, and we have half the stuff that it gives anyway. Plus, the problem is that unless you make them super damage dealing like we did with Sir Percival, Berserker Armor is just not worth it. I mean, the reason it worked with Sir Percival because he was literally a death god incarnate. He had a ton of HP, he did a ton of damage, he attacked like everyone within range. He was just brutal. Let's turn this silver bar into a gold bar, which is nice. We'll get a bit of extra cash out of that. Also, developers have told me that they've tweaked with some of the events in the world, like they've tweaked with the windmill. It's now much more useful in my honest opinion. Beforehand it only gave like 100 gold a day, which didn't set off its 1000 gold. It took you like 10 days to recoup your losses. Now it gives you 500 gold a day, which means that we recoup our losses within 2 days, which is nice. Especially if you're someone like me who doesn't, like, if you play this only a bit every day, that item is really useful because within like 4 days you'd get a nice chunk of money. Right. Sell off the gold bars. And we're not doing too badly money-wise. Right. What else do we need to do? I don't want to go in the arena because Balver is not up to the task yet. Not going to do all the DLC yet because my units aren't experienced enough. Let's just collect crystal. As I previously said, I'm not going to be showing the DLC in this. I just do it behind the screens and you'll see the aftermath. So let's press on with the main story, shall we?
The beasts have done what I'd hoped they'd do. They've gone through the mountain rather than over it. The great Undercroft is home to all manner of vicious things. If it wasn't obvious before, it certainly is now. They're looking for me. Fortunately, if the Undercroft doesn't kill them, I've made arrangements on this side of the mountain range. Hopefully, I'll get these beasts back, subdued, and ready for more reconditioning. It'll be a bit before I hear any more about this. There's no way Lord Asriel will go anywhere near the Undercroft. There's no way he's that stupid.
So, Granny, how did you end up living in those stinking woods? I'm a highly educated sorceress, young lady. I once studied at the College of Gowort. Do you mean you were one of those crazies flying around on brooms? Basically, that's a Hogwarts reference. Watch your tongue, harlot. and playing that silly ditch and quit game. Yeah, that's Quidditch. This is a Hogwarts reference. You have much bigger problems than your stubbornness, you vile, disrespectful youths. Yeah, it's a Harry Potter reference.
Azil's letters are becoming fewer and fewer. He's having a hard time navigating the tunnels, and his men keep upsetting the things that dwell down there. Interestingly, they've stumbled across the remains of a knight in full armor. It may be unrelated, but how many monsters do we know of that could do that? Apparently, the knight's body was half-eaten by the time they found it. I wonder how long that was. After all, these letters are coming from the long way around. Still no sign of my monsters at this side, though. I wonder what's keeping them.
Great, man-eating bears. Dire bear, roar, it roars. Hello, friend, says Nari, uneasily. What an ugly example of a bear species, declares Balver. Balver, please behave. The bear roars angrily. Balver roars angrily. Here we go. So we're fighting dire bears. That's going to be fun on the bun. We'll grab another grab another parasite unit. We'll do this the old-fashioned way, which is that through attrition approach, which is that the units that survive are the better units. So we just keep chucking them in. Right, we'll swap out this mutated swamp ivy. Yeah, I want to get some more saplings on the front lines because we need to get some of these guys leveled up. Because I need more Ents. Because Ents are going to be the main sort of like fighting force of my army. Can't see any other Ents there that are higher level, so these guys get chucked in. I mean, the mutated ivies are okay, but I don't want to rely on them too much. I want to get Ents, so we need to get these saplings tuned up. Everyone's going to get some potions, so I don't have to constantly rely on my healing units to heal. That's going to be good. I hope we get deployment, though judging from the intro we might just straight up go into a fight, which is going to suck. But you can't always have set up in battles, so we'll have to adapt as quickly as possible. Yeah, she's going to have to stay so far back now. I need to get her some magical armor. Either that or maybe she'll have like a stat buff thing that she can unlock. Right, what are we looking at? Balver roars at the bear. Roar. Roar, roar. The bear roars back at Balver. Roar, roar, roar. Balver roars at the bear. You males, always looking for a fight. Oh, go on then, Lexa and I will watch. Right, so we've got ourselves a duel, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be fun. They've got to keep attacking each other automatically until one of them dies. And here I was wanting to enslave the dire bear. Now this is going to suck. Whoa, that's a lot of units. Okay. So we've got adult slimes, beholders, bears, dire bears, and lesser slimes. Man, this is fun. How could this go wrong, I suppose? Right, so we're going to save. This battle will take place on Friday, folks. Hope you don't miss it, it's going to be a good one. Judging from the units that we have running around. But anyway, I've been Cornish-Knight. If you have liked, please press the like button. If you wish to subscribe, please press the subscription button. You can follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Steam, you can leave a comment in the comment section, I'll get back in contact with you. If you have any questions for the developers, you can leave that in the comment section as well. They're always happy to answer. And that's about it, folks. If you enjoy my content, as I have said, please leave comments. and I'll see you all next time on the next episode of Age of Fear 3 The Legends. Goodbye.